Attention shoppers. Tonight on the checkout, Craig scans the health claims on packets to find out what's 98% fact-free. Kirsten and Zoe show why the company peddling female empowerment is a real beauty. And Ben checks out the price of gluten-free.
We all want food that's low in fat and low in sugar and good for us. And we're finding it everywhere. Sweets are 99% fat-free.
Sweets never had fat.
Chips have no artificial colours or flavours.
Just heaps of other bad shit.
And if you're looking for something that's low in sugar and a good source of protein and dietary fibre, try these pork crackles. It's practically a health food.
Crackling.
I'm sorry, sir, but you have diabetes.
Diabetes is low sugar, high protein crackling.
We say we're trying to eat healthier, but the number of obese Aussies has increased by 50% since 1995, when I bought this.
Why is it so?
Good question, black and white guy. Maybe it's because companies use packaging to make unhealthy products seem healthier. In the olden days, manufacturers had more freedom with what they said about their products.
Cigarettes protect your throat. Radium gives you sex power.
Unfortunately, sir, you have cancer of the everything. But on the plus side, your sex power is off the charts.
Today, the Food Standards Code is supposed to prevent dodgy claims. Terms like low fat, source of fibre and light are meant to mean something, but they can still be misleading. It all depends what you're comparing it with. This light ham has the same amount of everything as this regular ham. And this light, 25% less fat corned beef has the same amount of fat as this one. The good news is the code says when a product makes a comparative claim like this, it's got to show what food it's been compared to. So it's worth checking the fine print. This high bran Weet Bix has twice the fibre per serve of regular Weet Bix, but only if you eat more of it. The bad news is that we tend to rely on the health claims on the front of the box and not turn around to the real nutritional information on the back. So you can sit down to a bowl of high fibre cereal with milk, no added sugar juice, and this low-fat yogurt, and that healthy sounding breakfast has you well on the way to 3/4 of your recommended daily intake of sugar. And remember that those daily intake percentages are based on the average adult. How many adults do you know who have Fruit Loops for breakfast?
But it's a good source of loops.
The Food Standards Code also lists over 200 pre-approved general health claims that products can use. Even chewing gum can say it contributes to the reduction of oral dryness. Gum. The claims on these products sound great, but they're largely irrelevant. Unless you're actually deficient in vitamins and minerals, and most Australians aren't, you're unlikely to notice any benefits. But they do help enrich the companies that sell them. And while the Food Standards Code covers specific claims, you can still throw vague, healthy-sounding words on the pack and hope that people don't realise they're meaningless. Like Enliven Juice for revitalising green goodness.
This man's green goodness levels are crashing. Get me 50 cc's of Enliven.
Product names are even less reliable. Fresh, natural, pure and healthy are often used when naming a food. But there's no nutrition test when trademarking a name. Marketers love health and nutrient claims because of something called the halo effect. Take the word organic. If you put it on a label, people are more likely to think that the food is tastier, lower in calories, lower in fat, higher in fibre than if it didn't have the word organic on it. And it works for other claims too. If you think that something's healthy in one way, you'll wrongly assume it's healthy in other ways too. Once a product has the health halo, you're more likely to buy it, underestimate its calories, and eat more of it. And for food companies, that's the real miracle. Even without any claims, packaging can still make us think the products are healthy. Shown to otherwise identical packets, most people think the one with the landscape imagery is healthier. See-through packaging can make us think a product's more nutritious. And even the colour of the nutrition panel can influence our estimate of calories. We're nutritional racists. Next, they'll be saying the farmers on the packets aren't real farmers. Good dog. So if healthy eating is important for you, make sure you read the nutrition panel because you want a healthy product, not a healthy packet. And remember that front-of-pack claims are often just clever marketing dressed up as health info. Most of the things that are good for you don't have packaging at all. A little bit of clarity can go a long way. Oh my God, all these claims are bullshit. That's not even a real dog. Well, this stuff really works.
As a guilty mum, I know the only way to toilet train my child is to spend a few pennies. Thankfully, I've been well trained for that.
Huggies pull-ups can help move your child from nappies to underwear.
By buying more nappies, but not just any nappies. They've got
Special features, like the wetness liner, when they can feel they're wet.
almost as well as when they wet themselves without a nappy. No wonder the experts are taking notice. Toilet training can even be a game with Dumpy and the gang. Dumpy toilet trains your child in just days.
Quick! Let's go feed the hungry toilety yum-yum like Dumpy and then bomb it with our poos!
Dumpy's toilet training also comes with a rock-solid guarantee.
Our guarantee is that we will help you via phone or email.
Oh. And if we actually do make it to the bathroom on time, I don't want a cheap, effective potty. I want a throne fit for a princess. A Disney princess. With all the magical sounds of toilet training. It's overflowing with exciting beaches. This disposable, biodegradable toilet training aid for kids replaces the need for expensive toys. With coloured squares that make exciting pee-drenched pictures. So she can wee and see, just like I do. Hearing the call of nature's easy when you're strapped to a potty watch. It can really scare the crap out of her. And as a guilty mum, I never miss an opportunity for learning, which is why I also bought an iPotty.
To take potty training to the next level, so they can play with apps, read books, or watch videos, all while potty training.
Just like Mother Nature intended. It's a comfortable and fun place to learn to use the potty, and lots of other things too. Wetting yourself in public gives kids psychological baggage. But my little one's got a different kind of baggage. My Carry Potty. It's the smarter route to potty training. Here you go, darling. Show the other kids your portable poo esky.
Lady, you're full of
We sure are. Thank you.
Remember a time when gluten was safe to eat? Grains! Grains! But now we're under attack. Some estimate 1 million Australians are currently on some form of gluten-free diet. Gluten is a protein found in foods like bread, pastas, cereals, and noodles! Experts have been warning about the dangers of gluten for years. Experts like Gwyneth Paltrow, Miranda Kerr, Miley Cyrus, and Novak Djokovic's dog all advocate avoiding gluten to lose weight, get fit, and even clear up your skin. So why is it that gluten is suddenly so bad for us? Let's chat to an expert to find out. Can you explain to us why so many Australians are currently going gluten-free? Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. So, can you tell me why more people are going gluten-free?
The commonest reason is a condition called celiac disease. This is an autoimmune condition whereby affected individuals who consume gluten acquire a lot of damage to the small intestine and sometimes other organs as a consequence of this.
Right, and so how many people are affected by that?
About 1 in 100 Australians. There is another group, perhaps a smaller group of people who do not feel so good when they consume gluten. There is no scientific basis for this and no scientific explanation, and in particular there are no diagnostic tests or blood tests for this condition.
Wait, stop, don't move. Cupcake.
Don't shoot! I'm a Freon.
Yeah, you keep walking, Freon. Sorry about that. So if you're not a celiac, is there any benefit to going gluten-free?
There is no evidence that a gluten-free diet is beneficial. In fact, it is difficult to achieve weight loss often on a gluten-free diet, as often gluten-free products are supplemented with fat and sugar to make them more palatable and tasty. I mean, compare these two San Remo products I recently purchased from Coles.
You just have them on your desk?
Yes, and the gluten-free product has 25% more fat and 3 times the sugar content.
Is it possible that that's good for you?
No, not unless you have celiac disease or are gluten intolerant.
See, that's interesting, because according to this report of a Coles survey, which, by the way, Coles hasn't published and refused to give us a copy of, around 50% of people who buy gluten-free do so because they reckon it's healthier. Remember the halo effect?
If you think foods are healthy in one area, you might wrongly assume that they're healthy in other ways too. Why am I dressed as a cupcake? I'm a Freon.
Maybe when we see gluten-free on a packet, we assume that it's healthy in other ways. And if we think that, then maybe we're willing to pay a little bit more for it. But how much more?
Remember the San Reno penne?
Mm-hmm.
The gluten-free version is 250% more expensive than the normal version.
Huh. And you just have those receipts on hand?
Yes, and according to Celiac Australia, it costs $1,000 extra each year to go gluten-free.
Wow. Thanks for not being a dog. And here's another thing. Some products, like this gluten-free bacon, never had gluten in them to begin with, or if they did, it was in completely negligible quantities. Still, doesn't hurt to give your product a point of difference.
Oh, look, honey. This bacon contains no angry swarms of bees.
What a relief.
And make sure you pair that bacon with this gluten-free salt. Gluten-free because, you know, it's salt. And if you really want to waste some money, why not treat yourself to some gluten-free shampoo? Yours for just $26.95, even though the gluten-in shampoo wouldn't be problematic for celiacs unless they ate it.
It worked for me.
So, unless you're a celiac or gluten intolerant, and you're not, there's no reason why you can't sit down to a delightful gluten meal. But if you do suspect that you're gluten intolerant, then it's best to speak to a doctor. No, a real doctor.
Great segment, whoever came before this. Now, last year on the checkout, we asked you...
Some signs are illegal. Others should be. And some signs are just amusing. If you spot one, then take a photo of it and send it to us here at the checkout.
And here at the checkout, we're nothing if not a bit slow. So here are some of the great shopping signs that you sent us.
Sale!
Chicken was $8.62, now reduced to $8.62.
Better sale!
Davis & Waddell fridge thermometer was $7, now $6.99. You save a whole 0%.
Red spot sale!
Please add an A4 1 per page price message here.
Besterest sale!
Manager's special was $14.88, now $14.92. Thanks, manager.
Guarantee.
We guarantee no MSG. As we buy some raw material already contain a little bit MSG, our dishes are not serious MSG free. However, we're doing our best to reduce the MSG.
We're doing our best too at your special ABC.
Managing Director's special was 8 cents a day, now 12 cents a day.
So if you have more signs of the times, send them in and we'll pad out a few segments with them next year. Huh? An efficiency review, really? All right, we'll do it this year. Bloody slave drivers.
Beyond the ocean rim, down behind the sun, searching for a place to fall, trying to find someone. Dust rises to the sky, a bad luck wind is at your door. It's here and it's gone again. People on the street, sometimes they walk on by, but you got a good friend that you can always find. It's alright.
I'm James Robertson from grocerycop.com.au, and if I could say one thing, it's that you can save serious money by being prepared to shop around for your groceries. Online grocery shopping is booming, and the 2 big players provide a very handy way to check prices online, as well as to check when products go on special. They won't tell you this, but both Coles and Woolies update most of the prices on their products on Wednesday. Wednesday is also the day when most specials come online. Our research also shows that the same products tend to be put on special over and over again. What this means is that if a product is not on sale, and you know you've seen it cheaper previously, it may only be a matter of waiting a couple of days to get that product for a lot less. This is really useful for products that have long expiry dates, because you can buy enough to last until it's back on sale again. You can make even bigger savings if you check more than one site. As well as the traditional warehouse stores or supermarkets, there are a lot of other reputable Australian stores that provide non-perishables in larger quantities for significantly less than you pay in a regular supermarket. If you use the different resources available and buy your groceries when they're the cheapest, you can save thousands of dollars a year.
Oi, hey, Zoe, have you seen this ad?
No, I try not to pay too much attention to ads. They always perpetuate values I just don't agree with.
No, this one's different. It's from Dove. They're all about female empowerment. Come on, just watch.
If you wake up,
people do say you look like a boy. I know.
If it takes just a little while, open your eyes.
Oh, I hate displaying all my flaws at once.
They always want you to hide your curves.
6 out of 10 girls avoid activities. She kept playing. Go, girl. She's still dancing. She never gave up.
Never quit not quitting, sister.
Yay!
Girls! I am so getting involved.
Oh, me too. Good on you, Unilever.
Don't you look back.
Oh, look, a Lynx ad. They're Unilever too, right?
Sweet, I love their ads.
The object of the game is that 2 teams, observing fair play according to the laws, should by carrying, passing, kicking and grounding the ball, score as many points as possible.
Huh? If you get the most points, somebody takes a photo of your vagina.
Ah.
Like for your Christmas cards or...
Yeah, right.
The wide variation of skills needed for the game mean that there is an opportunity for individuals of every shape,
That's strange. I can't seem to find my those.
No, they're there.
Yeah?
size
The best size is sweaty.
and ability to participate.
I didn't know that was an ability. Yeah, it's in the decathlon.
A scrum is formed when players from each team come together.
What's a scrum?
It's when you pick out a wedgie and then make another one immediately on purpose.
Go, you good thing.
You know what? I don't actually mind that ad. I did learn a bit about rugby.
A little bit of tits and ass is all right by me.
But it did score a fair few complaints, and the Advertising Standards Board found that it depicted the women as sexual objects. Unilever didn't go down without a fight, though. Their defence stated,
At no point in time does the video give the impression that the women are shown as sex objects. The expression on the women's faces is one of determination, and they seem to take the game seriously. The video does not show wet, sweaty close-ups on groins and breasts. And the ordinary viewer will simply see the women playing out rugby rules, wearing clothes that are very similar to other sports clothes for women.
Anyway, Unilever says everybody's just missed the point.
We realised that many young men do not have a good knowledge of the rules of rugby union.
So they thought
Lynx should educate young men in a Lynx way about the rules.
Which is all fine, but Unilever, are you the company that does things the Lynx way?
Or the company that empowers women the Dove way?
They're right about one thing though. Videos are a great way to learn about stuff, like corporate hypocrisy.
Here's how to profit from rejecting sexist stereotypes while actively reinforcing those stereotypes.
I was wondering you had any tools to get me going.
This is building a brand on embracing imperfections while literally teaching women how to spot imperfections.
Pond's Flawless Radiance Blemish Prevention will teach you about uneven skin tone and dark marks.
Here's how to claim your pro-age while exploiting anxiety around aging.
Your skin will start to feel drier until the wrinkles suddenly appear.
Here's saying the Dove self-esteem workshops in schools were set up
to help raise the self-esteem of young people,
while boasting that the workshops increase sales for the Dove brand. All while asking students what kinds of companies benefit from making us think our bodies are imperfect. Go, you good thing.
I feel dirty.
Want a beauty bar?
Welcome back to the consumer complaint segment that's brought to you by the letters F. And that's exactly the sentiment behind Diane's question for our banks. She asks why, if she donates to a charity using a credit card,
you're going to charge the charity a merchant service fee. The more I give, the more you take as a bank fee.
Well, Diane, the banks do waive some fees for charities and appeals on occasions, and they're eager to highlight the other community work that they do, but generally you're right, banks do charge the charities fees on credit card donations. A point which, strangely, is omitted from the NAB Charitable Giving Index report, because when you're giving, NAB is on the take, just like the rest. Mind you, credit is their money, so let's not be too uncharitable to the bastards. But if you're considering giving, it is worth asking the charity you choose which way of donating will maximise their income. Or else the other cause you may be supporting is bank profits. Next up, a video about Ryan and Rebecca's unhappy marriage experience. Not the relationship, that's going fine and it's not covered by the consumer law anyway, but their relationship with Pink Frosting, Australia's #1 party and wedding shop, is on the rocks.
We ordered something about 6 weeks before our wedding. We haven't received anything, otherwise I'd be sitting here with a garter on my head complaining about nothing.
Not only did Pink Frosting fail
to ensure your order arrives in time for your special occasion,
they were promised a refund in December last year and Ryan said they still haven't got it. Rebecca complained on the company's Facebook page and they responded by deleting the post and blocking her. Since you can't see the complaint on Facebook, here it is now. Now, this might just be a case of
forgetting about the money.
The difficulty for the unhappy couple is that even though they paid by PayPal, which sometimes refunds disputed money even when the seller won't, by the time they got back from their honeymoon, they'd missed the PayPal dispute notification deadline. So if you think you need to dispute something on PayPal, be aware of the deadlines and act quickly. Pink Frosting now tell us they finally paid Ryan and Rebecca their money back. So Ryan's happy.
What a simple refund process that is. Just email constantly for 4 months, contact an ABC television program, and hey presto, your money is yours.
But if you're ordering wedding supplies online, especially from Pink Frosting, maybe leave plenty of time so your wedding experience doesn't turn into a horror. Where's the Halloween costume?
Yeah, it hasn't arrived yet.
Last week on The Checkout, Kirsten blew the billy lid off dodgy Australian-made claims. But there's also some Aussies saying about products that claim to be from overseas when they're actually true blue. Gary reckons Carlton United and Lion are marketing locally brewed foreign label beers as if they're fully imported. I don't know how you got that impression, Gary.
Peroni nastro azzurro. Italy.
Now, maybe it's not that big a deal. In the end, beer is about taste and mateship. But in a choice review of locally brewed international beers, many of the testers actually preferred the local make to the overseas brewed one.
It's true blue.
But CUB is being deceptive about Peroni. From the bottle, which suggests that Mr. Peroni himself is supervising the brewery in South Bank, Victoria from Rome, to their website, which never actually says Peroni is made in Italy, but makes all manner of Italianish claims to create that impression. Not to mention the further information you get when you click through to peroniitaly.com, where after you confirm that you're from Australia, they use phrases like
brewed using the creativity and flair of Italians. A touch of Italian style.
But at least some parts of Peroni's Australian marketing are honest.
There's no explanation for what's going on.
Although maybe there is one explanation.
Australiano Peroni è una truffa!
If a beer markets itself as imported, it should come from overseas, like Japanese beer Asahi, which is brewed in China. Nevertheless, claiming not to be Australian when you are, that's un-Australian. In fact, it's really the only thing about Peroni that is. Good night.